Today we're going to make a pinch pot monster. Here are some examples. First we're going to start by making a pinch pot. The pinch pot could go on its side like this one. See where the opening's on the side. You could have it so the opening's at the top like this. Or the pinch pot could be turned upside down and you can put all the monster features on the top like this one. Alright? You can make your monster scary, it could be funny, you can add lots of eyes, teeth, horns, tentacles. This one, it took me a while to get these tentacles to stay upright. But it's going to be a fun project. So first, with your clay comes like this. We're going to use gray clay. And then once we fire it in the kiln, it turns white. Right? So first you have to take a piece off. This piece is what we're going to use for the tentacles and eyes and all the other features of our monster. So put that aside. And then with the remaining clay, we're going to squish it in our hands and roll it on the table until we get a ball of clay. And try to work the clay, get any air bubbles out of it. Air bubbles, when they heat up in the kiln, they'll cause your project to explode. So we don't want any air pockets or air bubbles in our clay. All right, once you get a ball, then you're going to take your thumb and you're going to put your thumb into the clay. All right, you can twist it around. Don't go all the way through, but get it more than halfway down there. All right, now this is why it's called a pinch pot. We're going to take our fingers and our thumb and we're going to pinch the clay and we're going to turn it as we pinch it, and it's going to make this opening larger and it's going to turn into a bowl or a pot. So put your thumb in there, pinch, twist, and you keep doing that over and over. Go around. Sometimes I'll switch hands and do it with my other hand when one hand gets tired. All right? So you don't want it too thin in any spot. You want it to be evenly, like the thickness of it to be evenly distributed, okay? And you don't want it to be any thinner than maybe your pinky finger like that, the width of it. All right, now once you get the shape that you like, smooth out any cracks. You can spray it with the spray bottle. We don't want any cracks on our project because they get larger as the clay dries and it won't look good and it'll make the clay fragile. So smooth it out and now decide which way you want your monster to look. Is it going to be open like this? That's this way here. Okay. Do you want the pinch pot to be on its side? That's what this one is. Or is it going to be upside down like that? And that's what this one is. Okay. I'm going to do one like this. Okay. So you're going to flip it over. Okay. Now with the remaining clay, you're going to make accessories like the eyes, teeth, horns. So I'm going to make an eyeball here. I'm going to roll the clay. All right. And maybe I'll give this monster 3 eyes. So I'm going to roll 3 balls of clay. All right. And now I have to attach them to the project. But you can't just go like that and say, okay, it's attached. You have to do the 4 S's to attach clay together. The first S is you have to score the clay. So use the wooden pointed tool, and that means you have to scratch into the clay. That's scoring the clay. So I'm going to scratch into it in 3 spots where I want to put the eyes. And then on the eyes, I'm going to scratch the part that will be attached to the monster. Okay? That's called scoring the clay. That's the first S. All right. So that one's done. Next S is slip. That's when you wet the clay. So take your water bottle and just give it a squirt. And wetting the clay, it makes the clay sticky like glue. All right? So slip. The next S is stick. So I put my hand inside the clay and then I take the eyeball and then I'm going to stick the 2 pieces together. Kind of smush them together. All right? So there's one eye. Here's the next eye. Stick them together. And here's the third one. All right? Now that looks like it's going to hold, but we have to do the 4th S, which is we have to smooth the 2 pieces together to make it look like they were like that the whole time. All right? So take one of your plastic tools and we're gonna smooth the clay. Let me see if I can show you, like this. Kind of smush them together like that, smooth it out near the bottom where they touch so that you can't even tell that there were two pieces. We're gonna smooth that out later, so, or that part with our finger, we're gonna smooth it out. So smooth it out with the tool first, like that, see? Smush the clay together. Then I'm gonna take the water, I'm gonna squirt it with water, then I'm gonna use my finger and I'm gonna smooth it out really well with my finger so you can't even tell that I was using one of those tools. All right, see? And then I'm gonna use this wooden tool to make the pupils on the eyes. So I'm gonna like smush that in like that. Okay, all right, now it's starting to look like a monster. So then I can go and add extra things, carve out the mouth, draw a nose, draw some tentacles, a tongue sticking out. Now, first I would just kind of sketch it out with the carving tool like that, and then if you don't like how that looks, you can just take your finger and just smooth it out again and start over like you've erased it, okay? So, when it's time to clean up and you're done sculpting your monster with clay, take the small carving tool and you're gonna write your name in the clay, all right? Just scratch it into the clay. Now if there's two people in your class with the same name, write your last letter of your name, your initial. And now it's ready to go into the drying cabinet to dry for about a week. And then once all the moisture and water is out of the clay, and that's called bone dry, then I'm gonna put it in the kiln, fire it in the kiln for a day, for 8 hours, gets really hot, turns the clay rock hard, turns it white, and then I'll give it back to you and then we'll paint it and fire it again, and when it comes out the second time, it'll be nice and shiny like this, and it's ready to take home. Okay? So have fun with your project. Thanks for watching.